my YouTube channel. My name is Roxanne. I'm also known as the Tiny Taster, and today's recipe is a fabulous quick fix dessert. This chocolate pudding is so simple to make. You don't need any fancy oven, there's no baking. It's just a couple of ingredients that you probably already have on hand, and you can jazz it up. You can use any chocolate that you like. You could put in some liquor and maybe a little rum just to mix it up a little bit. As usual, I'm gonna put the detailed recipe and all these variations and combinations in my blog post, so make sure to check that out. I'll leave a link in the description. If you haven't already, make sure to follow me on Instagram. You'll see all the experiments and behind the scenes that happens before I actually put a recipe out. And make sure to subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. You'll get updates whenever I post a new recipe or whenever I get to travel, and you'll see all my travel updates. If you haven't, go back to the channel and have a look. I've put a whole bunch of videos from exciting travels and the food that I've eaten whilst I've been traveling. If you like this video, make sure to give it a big fat thumbs up. It always helps the channel. Leave me a comment. I want to know, did you like this chocolate pudding? Was it easy? Was it not easy? I mean, you do need a little bit of patience, but besides that, it's super simple. So give this video a like, leave me a comment, let me know what you think, and without further ado, let's get cooking. For this recipe, you'll need some sugar, some corn flour or cornstarch. This is the replacement for eggs, milk, some cocoa powder, a pinch of salt, some chocolate, any that you like, and cream. To a thick bottom saucepan, you'll add in your sugar and your cocoa powder, that little pinch of salt, and a little bit of the milk, not all the milk, and you'll start stirring it. My mistake here was to put it directly on heat. I would suggest you do mix this first and then put it on the stove, and then continue mixing till everything blends through. Once it's all mixed together, I would add in my pieces of chocolate. You can grate the chocolate, chop them up, it doesn't really matter. It's all gonna melt down. And then I add in the corn flour or cornstarch, and you just keep mixing this through till it starts to thicken. A little bit later, you'll add in the rest of the milk and make sure everything is combined and try to get rid of all the lumps. Once it's all mixed together and it starts to thicken a little bit, you'll add in the last ingredient, which is the cream. Just keep whisking it through on a light, low flame. Please don't do this on a high flame, and it'll still continue to thicken and mix up. Honestly, this recipe is pretty much done at this point. It doesn't take very long. Once you see it starting to thicken, switch off the flame and let this come to a room temperature, or at least let it cool down a little bit before you start pouring it into your molds. If you're going to use a ramekin or say a ceramic bowl, it's okay, you can pour it in directly when it's hot, but I was using glass bowls, so I waited for it to cool down just a little bit before filling it. Try not to be clumsy like me and spill on the side, but just fill it all up completely into whichever bowls or glasses that you'd like to serve it in. So the pudding is almost ready. At this stage, you would top it up with maybe some chopped chocolate like I did, or maybe a fruit if you like. You don't have to put a topping, you could leave it as is, and you will chill this in the refrigerator for a couple of hours, at least 4 or 5 hours, so that it sets nicely and it gives you that wonderful pudding consistency. So that's it. This is our eggless chocolate pudding. It is so simple to make, and the perfect thing to whip up when you want something a little bit sweet or maybe chocolatey and you don't want to cook anything too elaborate. You don't need an oven. It's a no-bake, easy peasy recipe. You can use any chocolate that you like. You can alter the amount of sugar that you put in, dark chocolate, milk chocolate, whatever tickles your fancy. It's entirely up to you. I hope you've enjoyed this recipe. If you did, give this video a big fat thumbs up. Leave me a comment. I want to know what you think. And of course, subscribe to the channel. I will see you soon.